environment clean of the activities of illegal miners. And yesterday, some journalists who were accompanying the Environmental Protection Authority in clamping down on the activities of illegal miners, they came under attack. Two were in critical condition, had to undergo surgeries in different forms. Our own Ibrahim Abubakar as well got caught up in all of that. Yes, the CEO of the Environmental Protection Agency, Professor Nanama Brown Kluche, explaining to Alfredo Kansi yesterday exactly what it is transpired. We'll just listen in and then come back for the discussions.
A very troubling and worrying development, unless first now those who are in the hospital.
Yeah, thank you very much. We thank God that we all have our lives now. It's just unfortunate that we have some injuries. As I said, the most critical one is a broken tie, which is one of the Joy TV cameraman who had a broken tie. Your correspondent, Abubakar, had some, he had chest pains and he is responding to treatment. Adom TV correspondent, that's Joseph with a head injury. He's also responding to treatments. Then we have some EPA staff who were also involved in the accident. They are all responding to treatment, and we have discussed it with the doctors and nurses in charge to pay special attention to them, because we were on a national assignment before this unfortunate incident happened. Yeah, so as the operation we started yesterday, it's a 3-week plan that the EPA has to ensure especially the services that others provide for mining in our water bodies, which is illegal. We plan to tackle that aspect as well. So we realize that it's not just enough to say stop mining in the river bodies, but again, we saw that we needed to deal with the suppliers. So we took over the shops, closed down many shops at the Arian Kwanta, as I narrated yesterday. So today we were on another route to close down some other shops. On our way near Obuase, we saw people on the ground, the galamsey happening on the ground. So we decided to have a look at what they were doing. When we stopped and walked into the area, in fact, where they're actually mining, they have access routes, so we had to stop by the roadside and walk to the ground, the field where they are mining. So as we were going closer, they were running away, and they did, all of them left by the time we got there. So we looked around what we could pick, we did pick. Whilst leaving, we saw that there were actually more of the excavators, 3 of the excavators that is inside a river body.
Inside?
So, inside river body. So in fact, they had mined in the river body and blocked the river in such a way that it has taken different tributaries around the area and flooded some places. It's messy. It was really a bad situation. So we actually went to the car and used another route to the place. And whilst there, the people also ran. We called them to come, and then just before we could even have a conversation, they had sent news around, and so we saw built men, a number of them came with guns. We had the military with us anyway, and the national security also were with us. But then we saw that we couldn't exchange fire, so we could not fight them. So we had to run for our lives. So in the course of we running, speeding on the road, we encountered this accident. So one of the cars, which had some EPA staff and some of the journalists, had a head-on collision with a truck that is actually carrying some pipes for galamsey, these galamsey operations. We saw some of them on the field. So they had a head-on collision, and we had the injuries that they are now at the hospitals and attending to treatment.
I see. So you're indeed confirming that you were attacked by Galamsey operators. I mean, we say well-built, heavily armed people who.
Yes. So some of them were dressed in black, like complete black from top to down, and some of them were wearing vests like this with CID written at the back. We asked them, in fact, the soldiers, the national security men, asked them of their ID card and stuff like that. So it was becoming confrontational, and then we had to leave because we couldn't. They said they cannot overpower them, so we had to leave. They had their arms, but we didn't. Of course, EPA doesn't.
The best in the morning is on 92.7. Sunrise on 3FM.
The battle has ended.
Episode again.
Episode needs to do is a remix of the song and include the conversation of Galamsey. Because just this week we were having conversations about a sitting member of parliament accosting the Naimus team. Today, it's heavily armed individuals confronting a team from the Environmental Protection Agency, wanting to attack them in their attempt to flee. A section of them are involved in an accident, someone with a broken thigh, and so many other things. That obviously changes a lot in terms of what is up for conversations for today. But let me bring in Six Strong Ulu and then the Ogboats, Michael Ogbodu, both of them joining me in studio this morning. Gentlemen, good morning to you. Trust that the night has been kind, following quite some very nice rains to ease whatever heats you find yourself in, and you can be able to rest properly.
I'm just admiring myself in the camera.
Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Yeah, I trust that all is well.
How about His grace?
Fantastic.
I cannot admire myself.
I mean, we don't have a problem with you admiring yourself.
Sandra, put the camera on me.
Nobody, and please adjust the microphone so that we can.
The fact that
when you're adjusting, I'll turn it off. When you are done, because so that the listeners will not hear the quick and things you'll be doing.
No, this has never been straight and.
Sisters, you wear your headphones. It will solve all the.
Yeah, it will solve half the problem. You don't like to wear the headphones as well, and so every day.
Sandra, thank you. Yeah.
She's actually even minding you.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Do you know Sandra is sweet ajele?
Wow, look at all of them.
Sweet ajele.
When you are now self-actualizing, that's what happens.
Oh, I don't catch there yet.
No problem. No problem.
It's a long way to go. My brother.
I love the admission. There's a long way to go for a lot of people
At this stage, you want to self-actualize, really?
Be there.
But it's all good. At least we're thankful for life.
Producer of Sunrise, you are self-actualizing.
What's that supposed to
Let's
mean?
stop joking. There's a long way to go.
Let's go.
Anyways, not very pleasant news. I hadn't heard the news actually, and then it came to me, and I quickly sent a message to our colleague Ibrahim, who subsequently we got updates that was doing well, but not everybody has been doing well in the last 24 hours, particularly those who were part of the team who were going around seeking to stop. Not confronting head-on Galamsey's, but seeking to stop what I understand is the production line for one machine which is very, very crucial in terms of the Galamsey economy, which is the Changfangs. And this is what happened again. 2 times already this week, we're having to talk about emboldened Galamsey's seeking to take on states institutions, fighting against the activities of illegal mining. I don't know where this leaves us really in terms of all the promises, all the actions that we've been seeing in the last few months, and just this week alone, we're having to have conversations about 2 separate incidents of persons coming under attack for wanting to stop the activities of illegal mining.
I was one of the voices, few voices actually, that spoke against the president declaring a state of emergency. And I stood with President Mahama when he said there was another encounter with journalists, the one you were given front row seat.
I wasn't given a front row seat, by the way, but continue with your message.
That doesn't mean anything.
A front row is a front row. I didn't have a front row seat. I'm just explaining.
Okay. So that one. It was there the president said he had not been advised by national security to take that action yet. That action was not due yet. I think that's the import of the point that was made.
When the security couples advised that at this stage...
Yes, and that's when the advice came, he would act accordingly.
Yeah.
And I stood with Mr. President because I was one of those who believe that, look, we may cause him more harm than good if we declared a state of emergency. Because I believed that, look, a lot of the times, the people who are caught in these kinds of actions are the low, poor, vulnerable people who are merely seeking their daily bread. And so I thought that, look, if we can still find a way to catch the kingpins, then we should do that and not necessarily declare a state of emergency. But recent events make me change my position and want to beg the National Security Council to please advise Mr. President to declare a state of emergency.
I should advise the president.
I said I am pleading with the National Security Council to please advise Mr. President to declare a state of emergency. Because the things that we have seen in recent past, and just in the last 3 weeks, about Galamsey, it's not good. NIMOS attacked. Journalists, EPA staff attacked. Then that village that I keep forgetting the name, where, okay, that happened way earlier. The IGP,
yes, the IGP
Anti-Galamsey Task Force.
The one that the people were so many they couldn't arrest them all. Is it that one?
No, that's Abrewa Ninkran. This one, Abrewa Ninkran, they had gone for a special operation to disrupt an entire town set up to just engage in.
Yeah, that's it.
That's Abrewa Ninkran. Then the IGP's task force, they were on a patrol, went into a community, stopped activities of illegal mining. Then the people say, hey, Hanahi, we are not going to allow you. Then they started coming after them, and a number of them were pelted with stones and what have you.
Wow.
And they had to do this thing.
Interesting.
Yes, that one. And it is becoming abundantly clear that the people I was defending and the reason for which I strongly advocated against the declaration of the state of emergency, some of them are a part of this. Because in all of the stories we have heard, it's always been the community people, the people I say are looking for their daily bread. The fact that they are armed, you see that in the yesterday's instance and the NIMOS instance of the NIMOS, the armed state security operatives could not use their weapons. Because if a military man discharges his weapon against a citizen, a civilian for that matter, it becomes a whole different conversation. Yeah. And this person may have to be court-martialed and go through a whole inquiry and all of that. The person may lose his benefits, may lose his job, may suffer a demotion, a whole lot of other things. So it could be one of the reasons we see that though armed, they are unable to use their weapons. And in the case of the NIMOS operatives and the 8 military men, I had applauded the professionalism and the emotional intelligence of the 8 soldiers who were on the team, because I said that if they discharged their weapons, they could have controlled that crowd. They could have brought sanity to that community. Just 8 of them, but they didn't. They submitted themselves to the civilian police to deal with the incident, for which some people went on Facebook passing unfortunate comments. But if we were under a state of emergency, it won't even be a conversation. We have come to catch you doing this, and you have the audacity to draw a weapon on an armed state security operative. It won't even be a conversation. They won't even ask you, how are you?
Yeah.
What are you doing here? So, sadly, I really never saw myself making this advocacy. But maybe the time has come for us to apply a bit more
that state
pressure.
Of emergency.
Yes, let's apply a bit more pressure, or escalate the marching orders of the military and the police. So NIMOS and all the task forces that are on this. We get them
up and doing and
no, they're already up and doing. We give them a bit more
in terms of having to advise the president. That's what I mean.
Yes, so that's for national security. But I'm talking about the men and women on the ground. So EPA, they don't carry weapons, but they had security people with them.
Detail.
And so, and the chief executive tells us that they were armed. Their security detail, very armed, but they could not use their weapons. And they were advised to flee. Say, run for your life.
Yeah, because if they went into a confrontation with them, the civilians, I'm sure, far outnumbered.
Yes, she said that. She said the numbers on the other side were far more.
Yeah, so they had.
But I'm saying that per the training of the military and even the police, they can handle such a crowd.
But there would have been casualties.
Definitely. That is what I'm saying. That's why I'm making the point that the marching orders they have at present probably do not allow them to take certain actions.
Which is a good thing.
Which is a good thing.
For now.
Which is a good thing.
For now.
But the way the story is going, that our people are the ones now suffering it. Somebody leaves home in the morning, tells his family, I'm going on a national assignment. He doesn't come back in one full piece. That cannot be encouraged. The journalist who suffered the injuries, yes, I'm sure that the state will take some responsibility
in their, you have to go through
in their medical bill. But it is not just the medical bill. You have a certain trauma that the state cannot share with you. You can't share that with anybody. I mean, the moment you hear some loud noise, you can even suffer some panic attack, because in your mind, that attack is still
some of them
lingering.
might not be able to sit in a vehicle for a while.
For a long while.
For fear of
that they will crash again. So, and national security, please, let's look at, even if we are not declaring a full state of emergency, there should be something we can do to give the military and police men on these details some stronger authority to deal with these issues.
Right.
Yes, I am not oblivious of the trigger-happy soldiers and policemen who may be on these task forces or details and may end up, abusing the orders that they would be given. But then we have to be able to get over this issue.
Right. Michael, quick thoughts as well, and then we can get into the papers. I'm sure we'll return and then have a much bigger bite in terms of what it is that we expect from them.
It's a very sad one. And it just shows you how vicious this whole conversation about illegal mining is, and tells you that it's getting worse by the day. And my heart goes out especially to all those who were injured just trying to do their jobs, and my heart goes out to all the journalists as well. I hope that the GJA will comment on this ASAP and demand answers quickly, because we can't continue like this.
Yesterday.
Yeah, we can't continue like this. Journalists can't continue suffering just because they are trying to do their jobs. We are not actors in all of this, and we shouldn't be victims either. So please, GJA, we are hoping to hear a strong statement from you today. In as much as you are preparing for your GJA awards, please make a strong statement. I am expecting even a press conference on it today. We need to nip this in the bud, and I think that all of this really brings to the fore that we need a concerted effort at addressing this issue. There must be a meeting between NCA, the national security, like you've spoken about, the local police service, the municipal assembly. All hands have to come on deck for us to fix this once and for all, because we can't continue like this. And the point is that we are sitting on a ticking time bomb. If we don't fix this anytime soon, a time will come when you can't eat anything from Ghana, produced in the market, grown on the soil of this country. A time will come where we may have to import water, and we can't sit and play ostrich in the midst of all of this. So, to all the key stakeholders, please, let's rise up and fix this. It's a sad one.
Sad one. I'll start off for us this morning with the Daily Graphic. I have 3 newspapers in front of me, but I'll start off with the Daily Graphic. And Wontumi defends NSMQ title as one of the big stories on the front page. Some pictures for you as well of students jubilant after having emerged victorious in that finals yesterday. Also, government moves to recover funds after PDS ruling. Story on page 15. Blue Gold secures $140 million to restart Bogoso Prestia mine. Policeman's bullet kills Pelion rider over 10 cedis. 10 cedis. Well, I'll fetch the details of this for us. The Daily Analysts, all set for 29th GJ Media Awards. Minshia Mahama Utumfor Bagbin to grace 29th GJ/KGL Media Awards at Minshia Palace, and that partnership has caused journalists of the Fourth Estate to withdraw from this year's award, following some concerns that KGL was offered the opportunity to vilify them over a report they had done on the good sources fund belonging to the National Lottery Authority. Mustafa Hamid, OSP clash over list of seized assets. Kunedu State funeral slated for November 28th. Presidential jet undergoing final test in France, as according to the Deputy Defense Minister, NS Broja Jemfi. Nkonya and Alavanyo unite to cede disputed land for national security. Ask Frontiers congratulates Bagbin on IPU Africa Champion chairmanship appointment, I should say. The news center is the last one I have. Blue Gold secures $140 million to restart Bogoso Prestia mines. They also have that story. NPP flag bearer hopefuls to sign peace pact. Africa must embrace AI transformation. Margin CEO. Vigilance is best defense against cyber threats. That's according to MTN CEO. And 9 board chairs, others failed to declare assets on page 4. The president, he said if you hadn't declared your assets within a time frame, that was a deadline he gave those who had not declared. I am wondering what the disposition will be, but the code of conduct, I think, stipulates something in that regard. I'll have to just check it. But those are the papers I have. Michael, you do yours, and then
The catalyst, Matt Watley's colonial exposure lecture, from Oforiatta's recklessness to Mahama's leadership. Ghana asserts sovereignty and rejects imperial lectures. A grand conspiracy to let Oforiatta abscond. Gold board boosts Ghana's gold reserves to 38.04 tons. 430 million Ghana cedis blown on empty networks in free Wi-Fi scandal. Interesting one. We'll see how all of that pans out. The Inside newspaper, don't try to collapse a diligent, reputable Ghanaian economy. Rondo Motors to Shraj. Kenpon Travel and Tour set to fly Ghanaian fans to 2026 FIFA World Cup amid assurance of experience, trust and excitement galore. The case of reparations. Review of Kwesi Pratt's book by Dr. Arthur Kennedy. I can vouch for his leadership. Eastern NPP chair endorses Brian Echampong ahead of 2026 elections. We need a national moral revival. Apostle Amponsa Frempong urges at 68th CACI Council meeting. On the new finder, Ghana's gold export receipts hit new record. Renew your license before November 28th. ORC orders insolvency practitioners. Review and strengthen asset declaration system. IMF report. Bad roads driving price surge in goods and services. Bad roads driving price surge in goods and services. That's according to the
like the road is not good, and so if they go and bring the produce from there, they'll charge you more.
Exactly.
So that's also a problem. Sixus, your papers as well this morning.
I'll start with the Punch Africa newspaper. And it says Solawa corridor sees big push, comes with a picture of the president cutting the sword. Manasseh slams Park, Asutifi North MP barred from leaving Accra. Bugging meets editors. Avoiding jail. Wontumi's manager explains himself. And
did you listen to the interview he did on that? He said, when everybody gathers, they say free Wontumi. Nobody's mentioning his name.
Nobody mentions him.
So he's looking out for himself. Interesting.
He has to look out for himself.
He says he has a wife and children. Why?
And both his parents are actually alive as well. And the worry they've had
he has
to
a
go
responsibility
through.
to his family. And every man's primary responsibility is to his family. Senor Jose fires Akufo-Addo. But this photo they've used for Senor, he looks like one of those rebel leaders in the war. So, hey, Punch, you have chosen the right photo for the headline. Well, that story is on page 8 of the Punch African newspaper. I move on to the Ghanaian Times newspaper, the most authoritative newspaper. It says President cuts sword for 195 Wenchi Road, expected to reduce travel time by 50%, boost trade with landlocked countries. This road, as we talk about the construction, we have to also talk about the load on the road and how we are shortchanging ourselves. My understanding is that the overloaded trucks from the ports and harbors here, they get to Hamile and they shed off the load before they cross over, because across the border they will not tolerate the nonsense that we tolerate in our country. Why?
They are not paying to even help us rehabilitate.
No, they won't even accept bribe. You see, that's a painful part.
I'm not talking about bribe. You know, you used to take tolls such that.
Yes, and that one is a free flow for them.
That's what I meant.
So what happens would be a few individuals, maybe police or border guards or axle load operators, or you see those along the value chain. You find some of them taking a number of CDs. I hear a good number of CDs from the drivers, and allowing them to put the rest of us in trouble. Something we should really talk about. Yeah. Youth Development Minister unveils strategy to combat campus drug abuse. Comes with a picture of Pareado. Blue Gold secures $140 million to revive Bogoso Prestia mine. You also have government announcing state funeral for Mrs. Rawlings. And finally, Ghanaian diplomat re-elected to prestigious FICAC board. On the back page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper, government to roll out 24-hour model markets for 261 districts in December. So the market is operating 24/7. That would be beautiful. Wama plans alternative routes for heavy-duty trucks. So that's West Akim Municipal Assembly. Good move.
Say that again.
Good move. They are planning alternative routes for heavy-duty trucks. What I just spoke about. Sure.
Yeah. So sure. That most certainly should be a good move.
Yes.
The final paper you have. You didn't
Ghana's favorite newspaper.
I would have been surprised if that didn't come from you. Let's have it.
Presidential jet undergoing final tests. Deputy Defense Minister is quoted. Mustafa Hamid denies OSP frozen assets claim. I see the lawyer says somewhere that none of the assets mentioned is linked to Mustafa Hamid. NPP flag bearer raised.
And
provisional.
Yet they have been seized?
They said they are frozen.
But the properties were also seized.
So whether seized or frozen,
but
the point is that
whose properties have been
you freeze
seized.
accounts and you seize properties, or?
Yeah, but the seizure by OSP
will only
can last
be
7 days. They have to go to the courts.
Too.
And have that enforced by the court or extended.
Actually, can the OSP seize? It can freeze accounts.
Freeze accounts.
Yes.
Even if they freeze the account, they can only do that
within. You have to
7 days. And within the 7 days, you have to approach
an affirmation of that order. NPP flag bearer raised, provisional register ready.
Just to clarify, the OSP confirms a seizure and freezing of assets exceeding 100 million Ghana cedis and $100,000, including real estate holdings, fuel stations, and logistics vehicles in connection with the ongoing prosecution of former NPA CEO Dr. Mustafa Abdulhamid and others. Additional assets remain under active tracing as part of continuing investigations into the alleged extortion and money laundering. It's clear here. And this from the OSPs.
Otherwise.
So my point is that the OSP says they were seized.
Yeah, they have seized some property as well. And all we are adding is additional context that it has to go to the courts after 7 days for that to be affirmed. And so I think that we are both you are both saying the same thing.
Because I heard something about properties were noticed. I wanted to be clear.
No, so the statement is from the lawyer is that all those assets,
right,
none of them is traceable or linked to
Mustafa Hamid. I mean, I think that's been the bone of contention. I spoke to him yesterday, Dindiok Pemka is a former deputy attorney general as well. And he had to make that forcefully. He was raising the consistent mentioning of asset freezing and seizures suggest that they belong to Dr. Hamid, and they wanted to say that the OSP was engaged in theatrics.
So who does it belong to?
The OSP, not just the OSP, any law enforcement body.
The OSP hasn't named anybody this belongs to, by the way.
No, but it has to belong to Mustafa.
The statement said in connection.
In connection, but it is in connection, but it's as to the listed individual. And remember, there are entities as well. There are businesses that have been listed in the charge sheet as well. Is it 2 or 3? So
the point is this:
it could belong to
if
these
you are under investigation, and the law enforcement body believes that within the period of the investigation, they need to put a freezing order on your assets to enable the investigation or to prevent you from, a lot of the times on accounts, prevent you from moving monies in their account. What they do is to go to court and get that order from the court. But that account must belong to you directly or linked to you in one way or the other, if it's a business account, for instance. So we cannot be investigating you. Then we'll go and freeze Mawine's account in the name of your investigation. So that's the point the lawyer is making, that, look, all the assets that you claim to have frozen or seized, none of those assets is linked to Mustafa Hamid. They belong to other people. So that would then raise a question there. Why are you freezing Mawine's account because you are investigating Michael Obodu? I think it's clear.
Yeah, but but the point is, who is saying the truth now?
No, I don't think there's anybody not saying the truth. There's a confusion brought about by the OSP's initial response, or I don't want to call it response, but they came out. You know, there's a video of Mustafa Hamid saying, "Oh, my matter, nothing is."
But the
OSP issued a statement reiterating the facts and everything that's captured in it.
I think this statement, this one I think it came after your interview with his lawyer. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, after the interview with Dindiok, there's been subsequent releases by the OSP where they've even on Facebook, for instance, shared the
list,
the entire details of the charge sheet which has been put before the court. And so I won't call it disagreement. What the argument of the lawyers is that, look, when the OSP came out and came to say that we've arrested or we've put these persons before the courts for this, that, and that mentioning of seizures of property and all of that linked to the case makes it come off as though it belongs to him, even though the OSP doesn't say that. They say
in connection.
It creates an assumption as though it belongs to Dr. Hamid. Reason why they have also come out and they are seeking to explain away.
So who on the front page of the Daily Guide newspaper, still man 26 jailed 16 years for defiling boy 7. And Nana Konedu goes home November 28. On the back page of the paper, Democracy Cup is here to stay, Speaker Bagbin. NSA lifts suspension on professional boxing. Infantino to present FIFA Peace Prize at World Cup draw. Hakimi ruled out for a week ahead of AFCON. When is the AFCON?
So that's it for in January. I'll get into the details, but just quick messages from our Facebook stream. A number of you are following. Oyibo Boating, your message is completely unrelated to what it is that we're discussing, but I see you regardless. Pastor E.U.D. Lai, also on the stream. Let me read this one from Neron de Boanegas. He's asking that the marching orders of the military be changed to shoot to kill. I'm not sure that's going to come up for a conversation anytime soon. And Kwame Jandam is questioning whether or not lawyer Pemka is the former NPA boss's lawyer. Well, he is. I spoke to him yesterday on TV, and so he is. Well, let me get the first detail of this story quickly. Policeman's bullet kills pylon rider or pillion rider over 10 cities. The story is by Mohammed Fugu. Says a 51-year-old pillion rider's journey in town was cut short last Wednesday when he died of gunshot wounds from a policeman's rifle at Bintiri in the East Mamprusi municipality in the northeast region. The incident has sparked tension and controversy, with the police describing the fatal shooting as accidental in a counterclaim to accounts by eyewitnesses. Eyewitnesses say Mauto Banaka was fatally shot by the unnamed policeman over a 10 cedis extortion claim at a police checkpoint at Bintiri. The police, however, disputes the claim, maintaining that the shooting incident happened when Banaka held the policeman's gun and attempted to snatch it from him. They said it was during the struggle that the trigger went off, but the safety was supposed to be on.
Yeah.
They said it was during killing Banaka in cold blood. The incident has left the community on edge as tension rises over the death of the civilian. Meanwhile, the police at the center of the controversy has been taken. The policeman at the center of the controversy has been taken into custody while investigations continue. And this one here, the safety must be on. Some way. There's another story I have about 9 board chairpersons not declaring their assets. That story is on page 4. I'll do that as well quickly before I come to you for other matters. A new disclosure from the Auditor General is on page 9 of the News Center. I must mention a new discovery or disclosure from the Auditor General's department has revealed that 9 board chairpersons appointed by President John Mahama, including those of the Minerals Income Investment Fund MIF and the Ghana Gold Board, have failed to declare their assets and liabilities as required by Ghana's 1992 Constitution and the Public Office Holders Declaration of Assets and Disqualification Act 1998 Act 550. The revelation came to light through the right to information request filed by a Ghanaian citizen under Section 18 of the RTI Act. The citizen's request sought the clarification on whether the chief executives and board chairpersons of 15 key public institutions had complied with Article 286. Please, if they haven't, the president's words were quite certain. And so some course of action, whether salaries will be forfeited or allowances will be forfeited for 4 months and donated to Mahama case. That's what happened in the other instances. And so we'll see. Sixus, you have something for us as well?
Yes, a number. But let quickly, NSA lifts suspension on professional boxing. National Sports Authority has officially lifted the suspension on professional boxing in Accra effective Thursday. That was yesterday. I hope that the reasons we suspended boxing and cost Aite Powers his tournament, I think at just the day it was announced, was it Aite Powers or Bukumbang? Aite Powers.
Yeah, it was Aite Powers.
Aite Powers had some tournament that he had invested so much in. He was fuming all over the place. I hope that we have righted all the wrongs, and going forward we won't be seeing people dying, whether in the ring or just outside the ring. Yeah, so that has happened, and the sports ministry and the National Sports Authority must also ensure that Coach Otoado goes. So that's it on the back page.
Goes where?
He doesn't take the team to the World Cup.
Where did this one come from?
Ashie Fulani residents appeal for urgent action to save dam from collapse. You have victims of the May 25 flood disaster at Ashie Fulani Dam in the Adentan municipality of the Greater Accra region have appealed to the government to, as a matter of urgency, save the Mamahuma stream, well, I know it as Fulani Dam, from total collapse. I am taking this story because of personal interest. It's written by Lawrence Vomafa Apalu. A downpour on May 25 this year flooded about 50 homes and displaced more than 480 residents, destroying properties worth millions of cedis and washing away several cattle. When the Ghanaian Times visited the area on Tuesday, portions of the road linking Fulani last stop and Nashiye had been washed away by the overflowing dam, leaving deep gullies. Only about 2 feet of road space remain, with water seeping underneath, threatening a complete collapse. A resident, Mr. Mauli Ashiabo, who lives close to the dam, said he single-handedly constructed the road 14 years ago, replacing a wooden footbridge with concrete culverts. He added that he repaired the road in 2018 and 2021 after similar floods. He explained that the dam, which serves as a major collection point for excess water from surrounding hills, had not been desilted for the past 18 years. 18 years. So MCE Adentan, NADMO Adentan, MP Adentan, we are calling all of you, please pay attention to the dam at Ashiye Fulani.
Right.
And finally, national interests. President cut short for 195-kilometer Wa-Wenchi Road, expected to reduce travel time by 50%. That story is on page 12 of the Ghanaian Times newspaper, and I think it's on another paper. I read that headline from another, yes, Punch Africa newspaper also carries Solar Wa Corridor sees big push. Is also on page 9 of the Punch Africa newspaper. But I will look at the Ghanaian Times one, which is on page 12. It says the stretch is 195 kilometers. It runs through Bono, Savannah, Upper West regions, and is going to receive a major boost following the sword cutting by President Mahama at Sola on Wednesday. This road is expected to be done in how many months? This road is an international road.
Yeah.
It's not just for the people of Sola, Bole, Wenchi, Techimanwa. No, it's an international road. It's a national road. It's an economic road. We beg you, contractor, please.
Michael, you have one story.
Yeah, Ghana's gold export receipts hit a new record. I think this is an interesting one, and also on the back of the fact that Ghana's gold reserves now places us as number 6 in the world in terms of gold reserves. So big wins for us.
That's a positive for the economy.
Yes. So Ghana has achieved record gold export receipts in 2025, underscoring its pivotal role as Africa's top gold producer and a key player on the global stage, with first half earnings hitting $8.3 billion and projections for the full year reaching $11.2 billion. Gold remains the country's most valuable export commodity and a crucial driver of economic stability. The surge reflects strong performance across both large-scale and small-scale mining sectors. Notably, revenues from small-scale mining exceeded $8 billion between January and October 2025, boosted by enhanced regulatory enforcement through the Ghana Gold Board Act, which curbed smuggling and improved formal market participation. These substantial foreign exchange inflows have fortified the Bank of Ghana's reserves, contributing to cedi stabilization amid ongoing economic challenges.
So
the last one, with Ghana, while Ghana ranks amongst the world's top producers by volume, typically 6th globally, it does not lead in dollar value exports. Global gold trade is dominated by re-export and refining hubs such as Switzerland, the United Arab Emirates, and the United Kingdom, which reflect the highest export values due to their role in processing and redistribution. And hopefully Gold Board will be addressing some of these things in terms of the value addition phase of gold in the country.
It's a part of what the long-term plan is.
Exactly.
Perhaps we have to get the details as to short-term, long-term, because we've seen Gold Board jewelry come on board now. We're expecting LBC certification in that respect as well, and then the refining, and then the others will come on board. And so if you look at what the task is that's been set out for them, there are a number of these things which you speak about, and perhaps we will have to ask the question and then demand the timelines, and then march along with them and demand that these timelines are met strongly. Gentlemen, thank you very much helping us through the news review this morning. And let me talk to you about the Rosebank International